everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. We are here this week with a returning Campo.Reviews and a returning Putty Man. Returning Putty Man, that means we are doing a special event. It was WWE's King and Queen of the Ring, not just King of the Ring. It was King and Queen. We crowned two people in this episode, but long pay-per-view, not that many matches. And like I said, all their stuff will be in the description below, so make sure you go and check that out. And make you also like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. Last week, you guys made the Marigold review one of my best reviews forward. We have 100 views on that video. May not sound like a lot, but to me, that's a lot. 100 views is a good thing. So with that, we'll go right into the review of King and Queen of the Ring. We'll start with our pre-show match, which was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill facing off against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
Okay, so it's funny. I want to actually jump in because I think you guys know I like Jade Cargill based on past things. This match, I was surprised on some of the spots they actually did, and I never knew that Bianca and her could actually do so well together. Does that make sense? Like I'm surprised that they are, because again, I didn't think that they would have that well of enough like working together, and there were some good spots in my eyes in this match. You know what I mean? Like especially the one towards the end.
I agree. I'll be honest with you. I think that's maybe why we haven't seen Bianca with a belt or on TV much in the last few months, is because she's probably been working in the Performance Center with Jade.
Well, they've done a good job, because that one spot where they did together, like the final. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, but like I said, there's several times that I feel like there were good spots between both of them working together. Even with them both being very tall and muscular females, the movement they did together was pretty good. Outside of those few times, though, I would say the match might have been stale at some moments as well.
Oh, the match was not very good.
Yeah, but as far
at
as
least
those
to me, it wasn't.
Together, as those spots together, they were good. That's what I mean. Like when they did those spots, they were great, but then everything else is boring. I don't know how to explain that. It's like, oh, you did a good spot, but then oh no, this is all crap. Like it's a very weird way to say it. Like I liked how things ended, and then I liked some parts in it, but I didn't like the majority of the match. So,
Campo, any thoughts on this one?
Candice LeRae is dog shit.
Indy Hartwell, yeah.
Indy Hartwell has still the potential, but I feel like she's become stagnant. This was a former women's champion. Regardless if it's on NXT or not, she had a women's championship recently.
Candice LeRae, no.
Indy Hartwell.
Indy, yes.
Got injured, came back, has done nothing since then, is now in a middling tag team. Both wrestlers are mid-carders trying to find their position. They've become fodder for the tag team champions because they don't have a real tag team division for the women.
No.
I think the teamwork between Bianca and Jade was good. I still think every single time Bianca leaves the ring and Jade comes in, the quality of the match drops significantly. I don't see
together they worked well. I gotta agree with that. Together they
I don't see any progression as a wrestler from Jade Cargill still.
No.
It feels like what's going on here is Jade Cargill as a powerhouse, which that's why I like her. I like those powerhouse wrestlers. She is a powerhouse. You know what I mean? The problem is her moves are all based on powerhouse. Even if you look at it, like it's hard to believe when they're attacking Jade because of her size and stature. It's kind of unbelievable to see them beating her.
But Indy's pretty tall too, though. Indy's almost as tall as Jade.
But I mean, Jade puts off that very powerful structure to her. So and I feel like, and let me say this,
I think Indy's the second best wrestler in this match.
Okay.
After Bianca, yeah.
Bianca, I think the reason why Jade looks good is because Bianca's been helping her set that up. You know what I mean? I mean, I love Jade.
And that's why, like we said, when they work together, it looks good. But when Jade's by herself,
Indy's a very, very serviceable wrestler. And Candice LeRae has been around forever and understands what to do in the ring. She's not like a Lita or a Trish Stratus, where they came in the era where every woman just wasn't a good wrestler. Like, even her being a lower tier wrestler, in my opinion, is she knows what to do to put over. Right?
And she's been on the indies for a while,
but this is my beef with her. My beef with her is literally that when I got introduced to her coming into WWE, I think she got released and then re-signed, right?
Yeah.
There was so much hype, and all the WWE friends that I have were like, bro, wait, Candice LeRae is so good, wait till you see, and she hasn't done anything.
She hasn't shown me
Literally
anything.
nothing.
Yeah.
So that's just
Yeah,
my,
and
but
this
it
is
could
only
be
the pre-show match, so
WWE.
let's move on from
Yeah,
this.
I'm not
because-
going to judge
well,
this based on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say one more thing too. The other thing I'm noticing too, especially I feel like this happens with Bianca too as well. But Bianca, might be a little bit less of it. Is it's for me, entertainment wise, it's better for powerhouses to go against each other. That's the reason why whenever Goldberg went up against Big Guy, I liked it. I feel like the same thing with Jade, and the problem is there's not many of that. Like I could see Jade, like if we were to be able to do a fantasy league, Jade versus China would I think be an awesome match. They'd both be powerhouses. There wouldn't be much moves. But
Well,
it'd be
they
much
are
more
eventually
muscle
going to
and
build
fun.
to, it's coming. It's going to be Jade versus Bianca. Jade's
Eventually,
going to turn. Yeah.
Which I feel like that's going to work good. I feel like that's going to work out as far as visually. So anyway,
But yeah, they do retain, and eventually it'll lead to that. So with that, we'll go into our main show. The main card starts off with a women's world championship match. Becky Lynch defending against Liv Morgan. Can I say how much I hate Liv Morgan?
no, you
This-
can't, because I love you, Liv Morgan.
Her character is garbage.
I like the new character.
I don't. I really don't.
it feels like too much like she's doing what's her name what's her name literally there's a band made a song about her. It feels like what's her name when she turned heel or tried to turn
Bliss.
heel. Yeah, Alexa Bliss. When they she feels like she's being a small version of Alexa Bliss.
Because she's
And
not
it's
there
really
right
odd to
now.
say that.
Can you put up like
Yeah.
a flashing graphic when you said Bliss for why you have to say Bliss?
Yes.
Okay.
My Amazon Echo. I'll let you guys know. I can't. I
Hello,
can't say her
welcome
first.
to Amazon Echo.
It's right behind me, as you can see
So-
right there.
I have a gripe, and I would like to just get it out of the way. And we talk about this a lot, obviously. And like you can harp on Liv Morgan, that's fine.
I also don't like. I also don't like Dominic being involved in this.
Yeah, I don't either. But I
I
think
don't either.
the thing that's bothersome to me is like the more I've paid attention to it lately, the more I notice it. Becky Lynch, even when she turned heel, has never evolved from
No.
this character. She became the man and then never changed ever.
No.
It's been the exact same. It's like where Chris Jericho or like Randy Orton, they evolved and they became other things.
Randy went from
she's
the
still
legend.
the man.
Yeah.
Like she has not changed from this same character for 10 years. Well, not 10 years, but like close to it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 2016, 2017, I think, if not
It's
before.
10
Yeah,
years
close to.
total, but I don't think she's been that character for 10
No,
years.
her
right?
first gimmick was like an Irish
The Irish
dancer.
dancer, and then she
Yeah.
was steampunk.
Yeah.
I do know some stuff, all right.
Yeah.
But
go
I
ahead.
did not like this match. I
Mm-mm.
thought it was poorly paced. I thought the in-ring story was really odd.
Liv can't still can't run the ropes.
She
is
cannot. I
terrible.
agree, but she has gotten better as a wrestler. That being said, I completely disagree with the outcome of this match, no matter how they painted it,
Yeah.
because then they had it happen again the next night.
The next night on Monday Night Raw.
on Monday
yeah.
Night Raw. And to
Yeah.
me, it's like,
And I don't like these fake WWE love angles. We
Yeah, 'cause
know Rhea Ripley's engaged to Buddy Murphy, and we know
We know
Dominic
that
Dominic
married,
just
yeah.
got married as well.
and we also know that Dominic is in the faction with her, and then doing this whole thing is just because you don't have Rhea Ripley around right now to do anything with, so you're creating
Yeah.
this stupid side storyline.
Well, the reason is because here's the thing, and
This
I
is
know
like
exactly
when
what-
Lana was dating Bobby Lashley and left
Well,
Rusev.
Exactly. Well,
See,
they
the thing
did
is, I
now.
don't like the
Well, they did
dating,
now,
like,
yeah.
See, we never, when it came to the whole thing with Rhea Ripley and Dominique, we never really believed them to really be a couple in my eyes. It was just more of like a weird mommy son situation. That's just weird in the first place. But I can
Like
live
an
with
Oedipus
that.
complex.
I guess I don't know. My
doesn't know what
point
that
to the whole
means.
thing, and my point to the whole thing is the whole Liv Morgan thing. I feel like I know why they're doing this. Is they're setting up for Rhea to come back, kick Liv's ass and everything, and then get into a fight with Dominique about this. You know what I mean? And possibly even stop that whole situation with that and give her a new angle or something like that. You know what I mean?
But I
But-
don't like these stupid angles. Like we'll
But
talk
that's-
about. Well, we'll let you know. Liv is your new champion. So
Mhm.
what was the point of putting the belt on Becky?
And it's because they had to, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like you could have went a different way. You could have just had Liv Morgan win that tournament.
Well,
That's what I mean. Have Liv win the tournament and give her the belt.
Well, seriously, but that's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
have much preferred that outcome. But no, they
But
have to tell the stupid love story.
No, but
Well,
they
the
didn't
reason-
know what to do. You could tell. The reason the Becky thing happened was not because they didn't want Liv to win the tournament. It's because they literally didn't know what to do. They were like, okay,
honestly,
just give it to Becky.
I could already tell what they're doing. I feel like they did want to give it to Liv in the beginning because they wanted to have the rivalry between her and Ripley. But I feel like it was sort of like we need to fill in some kind of story until Rhea gets back. So I feel like that she's actually there to lose the belt. So now her and Liv can have a little rivalry for a while until she's ready to
No,
go.
Becky's
And like,
gone.
oh, she's gone already.
She's gone. So we'll talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. Becky's contract expired on the last week, Monday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she is taking some time off. Do not believe the rumors. Everybody's saying Becky's going to AEW. Becky will not go to AEW.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Only because of the fact that one, her husband still works in WWE, and they have a small child that they need to take care of.
I also don't think that from an AEW standpoint, it's worth it to throw money at an aged Becky Lynch when she's pretty injury prone at this point. And it's going to cost you a lot of money for a bloated women's division already.
She will right now. Monet is your highest paid woman in wrestling.
Oh, she's going to beat it.
She's going to beat it.
The
only reason I think, like I said, her husband still works in WWE, and they have a small child that they bring on the road with them. So I think she's taking time off, heal up, raise her child for a year or two, and then come back to WWE.
Yeah, they're saying it could be up to 2 years.
But there's one thing you're missing there too. You got to remember she also has her book, and that's a big thing she's doing right now as well because they're promoting it and everything. So I feel like right now she's like, I don't need this at the moment. I could take a break. I could do my book tour or something like that.
She's not doing a book. Yeah. The book tour is done, but yeah, she's taking a break to raise the child. That's exactly.
And she already has the money. It's not like they're poor. Between the two of them, they're filthy rich.
Yeah, Seth is probably top 5 highest paid in WWE right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if this whole time she did this just to promote the book, and then she's like, "Cool, I got the belt." Promotes the book, and then it's like, "Okay, now give the belt to her. I can go take a break. My book got a lot of publicity. Let's move on."
But they didn't give the belt to her. They gave her the belt in a fear move because Ripley lost, or else they would have given Becky the belt at Mania.
Well, no, but that's the reason why I say I think they did it. I think what happened was, and this is just me believing. When the Rhea Ripley thing happened, they were like, "What can we do here? We're freaking out." Well, she's got a book.
The book came out so long ago.
The book came out before Mania. They did the whole book thing before Mania.
I know that, but see, the thing is, she was.
That's why she had those stupid letters on her costume.
I know, but that her being the champion is not going to sell more books.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I could see it. As one of those people.
You think they were like, okay, here's the backstage deal. We're going to make you champion so you make more money. And then in turn, we will make the same amount of money that we're already making.
Well, no, it's a reverse kind of thinking situation. It's like if she's promoting the book with the belts.
Okay, I don't want speculation based on hearsay.
Yeah, let's move on from this. Liv Morgan. And then she wins due to Dominic interference. And then the same thing happened on Monday Night Raw the next night. They were supposed to have a steel cage match. Braun Strowman does his little stupid choo through the tracks because he's chasing what's it, JD McDonough there. He smashes into Dominic, and Dominic smashes the door into Becky Lynch, causing Liv Morgan to retain the belt on Monday Night Raw. That was and then she kisses
he's
Dom.
Like terrible Terry Tate. He's the pain train.
He's the pain train. But like I'm tired of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman sucks.
Yeah, that's factual.
I'm tired of Dominic. Dominic, let him heal his injury. Let him get him off TV for a little bit. When he comes back, he will get so much more heat.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's actually a good heel, not a good wrestler, but a good heel. He's a fun heel. And so we don't need to push any more of him. Give him a chance to, like, we already had that stuff. Let him go away. Let him come back with Rhea, or even do his own thing now. Let's go with different.
Isn't it crazy though? Dominic Mysterio literally got over by existing.
Yeah.
His character's not like a good heel because he talks. He didn't even talk for the whole first chunk of it.
They just hate him.
Well, it's because, again, it's always going to go back to the Hall of Fame. They for some reason, people don't realize that Hall of Fame thing was planned, and they're hating on him like he actually purposely wanted to do that.
Like, sorry to say this, but a lot of wrestling fans truly believe all of this is real.
Yes.
Anyways, I don't think this was a very good match. I don't think there was a very good story told. I don't think the outcome was quality. I think the in-ring work was just pretty average.
Yeah. It just goes to show
and it was long.
Yeah, way too long. 17 minutes. And I don't know. I think Liv is going to get utterly destroyed by Nia Jax.
I don't understand that put over either, but I don't want to get any deeper into
Yeah.
speculation about things.
But let's move on to a match that was actually really good. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed.
This was a fantastic match. I don't understand the existence of Bronson Reed in this company because
that's what bothered me.
He's a really good wrestler, but he's nothing but like C tier fodder at this point. In this match, he was there just to be there.
Yeah. He took the pin, didn't he?
I don't remember, but
no. Gable took the pin.
It was a way to not make somebody look bad.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, Chad Gable contract expires next week.
Yeah, he'll get re-signed. It's crazy. Apparently, UFC wants him really bad.
Really?
Yeah. Anyways, digressing from the point, I bothers me that this guy was gonna be an absolute monster in Japan and took the money to be a nobody instead. Like, he's not any more famous now that he's back being Bronson Reed.
It's been over a year now.
You know, it's forget about getting titles or whatever. Part of going to WWE is the fame, right? But he's not getting any more famous from being in WWE at this point. If anything, he's just getting paid more. That's it.
It's funny too, because I remember them mentioning and making a sarcastic joke about how he's being referenced like Kurt Angle, because they kept on saying "you suck" to a song, and I'm like, here's the thing. There's something.
I wish they let him come out to Kurt Angle's song there.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing though. I'm watching Chad Gable. I will never ever see him as a Kurt Angle anyway. No matter if he was an actual like wrestler or that kind of situation. Kurt Angle is special in that way, and for them to kind of like, it seems like they're trying to make him the next Kurt Angle. I'm like, it's just never going to happen.
But they've done that before.
He does have, he does have a similar skill set, and he does have a similar look to Kurt Angle. Chad Gable is missing a little bit more charisma than.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm seeing. I go to Macy's for a Kurt Angle, but I'm going to Dollar Tree for freaking.
Okay, hold on.
No, let's not over exaggerate. Chad Gable's really good.
Kurt Angle legitimately is someone who I always thought was good, but I never gave him any credit at all. Now that I've watched wrestling the way that I do, I've gone back, especially to the TNA stuff and his very ending of his WWE. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
I was gonna say his WWE run is nothing compared to his TNA run. His TNA run was fantastic.
The last little bit of WWE before the whole like fuzzy period of like drugs and stuff, like when he was peaking in WWE, he was fantastic right at the end. The match was like Chris Benoit and all that stuff. Those things were fantastic. But
that's my point, though. But
Chad Gable is really good. Yes. He's the most, in my opinion, he's the most underrated, underappreciated wrestler, which he's now being appreciated.
He's probably the best technical in the company right now.
Okay, I'll say this: as a wrestler, yes, but as far as the character design, I hate that they're trying to copy.
But they always do this.
You got to separate, buddy. You got to start separating the character from the in-ring talent.
Well, no, but
because I know it counts. It counts, but
it does. But it's like you also got to add that.
What's his name? Gable Steveson, right? They tried to do the exact same thing with him,
and it didn't work.
But that's my whole point. So you have to understand. That's why I'm here. The thing is, I understand when a wrestler's skilled. I watch these shows, and but when I watch the wrestling techniques, I'm like, dude, this is a choreographed thing. And what Chad Gable does also means the other person has to be good at what they do. You have to be able to coexist with each other.
And Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed are excellent wrestlers too.
I agree. But that's not my point, though. My point is when they came out and did the "you suck" thing, I felt desensitized. It takes me away. You have to understand. When it comes to wrestling as a whole, if I wanted to actually watch wrestling, I would go to Olympic wrestling. You know what I mean? That's actual wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what bothers you that the crowd chanted "you suck"?
Well, no. But what bothered me about it is like I know that WWE does this, and it's just me repeating the same thing. I hate how they remodel them to try to be something that's old when they can't play something. I'm gonna give you a prime example.
But the crowd chanting "you suck" has nothing to do with WWE.
Well, no, I know that, but what I'm saying is like it's because they have been kind of pushing this Kurt Angle.
Do you know that Kurt Angle is the second person that they did this with? Do you remember Mark Henry?
Yeah, they did the same thing to him too.
Yeah.
Mark Henry was before Kurt Angle,
and he was the Olympic athlete, but then they changed it to the world's strongest.
So how come you don't hate Kurt Angle for ripping off Mark Henry.
Because Kurt Angle and Mark Henry, when you as far as like their
I'm just
personalities.
fucking with you, but that's
Well,
the
no,
truth.
but that's my point though. Chad Gable feels too much like a Kurt Angle. Like
We're
they're trying to push him.
I would say that Gable Steveson is probably the fifth person. I feel like I'm missing someone in the middle there that came in as like an Olympic like wrestler guy.
Well, it's not even the Olympic. It's the Olympic. It's the whole like that whole heel of like someone you would want to cheer as a babyface being heel because they're Olympic athlete. Like at least with Kurt Angle, what was very great about his gimmick was that when he went for it, he went for it. The gold medals, everything. He went full force with it, and that was what I felt good about Kurt Angle, is because he's like, dude, you suck anyway. Stop being that way.
Honestly,
Chad Gable, I hate him.
Honestly, though, I feel like if you watched week to week WWE, especially like a year ago when Chad Gable and Otis were like peak comedy, you would have been literally your favorite two people.
Yeah, but
when they were doing Maximum Male Models,
Maximum Male Models was good.
I have no idea what that is.
That's when they turned them into like male models.
And it was Chad. It was LA Knight. He was Max Dupree. So LA Knight was Max Dupree. That's why Maxine Dupree was his kayfabe sister.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe
you have to understand this. Maxine Dupree still exists as a character whose kayfabe brother is Max Dupree, but really now Max Dupree is now LA Knight.
So I'm kind of.
And they got rid of Massey and Mansoor.
Yeah. And then maybe it's kind of good I didn't see that, because I never knew LA.
But I think it's the way that you like things. I think you would have loved that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was right up your alley of like comedy.
Because the thing is, I like comedy, but I also like when it comes to characters. Like if I want those characters that when I cheer for them because it's the excitement. You know, The Rock and Stone Cold will be perfect examples.
But he's another one. When The Rock came out, nobody liked The Rock. Die Rocky guy.
No. But he had to turn the character, as he said before.
And I think this is now that Chad Gable is a heel, I think this is where the turnaround for this character is going to happen.
We'll see.
They're going to get so much heat behind him because the crowd loves Sammy. And when Chad finally wins the belt off of Sammy,
which unfortunately is probably going to be at Money in the Bank.
Well, I'm just gonna say this: if they can win me over Chad Gable,
maybe.
I have no.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
If they can win me over Chad Gable, I have no problem with that. I don't mind being won over by a character, but right now, I just don't like the character. He is a wrestler. He's a good wrestler and everything. I see the technique, especially with him and Sami Zayn. They work really good off each other. But again, I'm just not interested. You gotta understand, when I go into it, I'm invested into these characters.
You see, and this is where we're so different, because I literally don't give a shit.
No, I don't care about the character at all.
I'll harp on it or enjoy it, but like to me, I'm here to watch wrestling. I don't care if somebody thinks somebody is somebody else.
But that's where it's different with me, because again, I
know we understand that, okay? And I'm gonna stop letting
like
you
we
talk,
said, Sami Zayn does retain
all over again.
Yeah, Sami Zayn retains in a fantastic match. Chad Gable is good, contrary to what Putty says. So we'll move into our first ring tournament final. It's Nia Jax facing Laya Valkyria for the Queen of the Ring tournament.
This is one of the worst women's matches I've watched. At least I'll say.
And I
love
Lyra Valkyria. She is so good.
So do I. And this match was
It's Nia Jax
that
made it was Nia Jax that made this match dog poo.
There's zero spite from me at all when I'm saying this. That this match was, from an in-ring aspect, so bad. It's some of the worst booking I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense. It's purely 100% nepotism, and it's so
The Rock
crazy.
Pushing his cousin.
That's another thing. So I want to get into. We'll have to wait till later, towards the end of the match and everything. But there's also something that bothers me that Campo, you brought up about Rhea Ripley and something happened with her, and it bothered me on this one as well. Maybe because, again, when you're always looking at somebody that's playing the heel, you want them to stay heel. You know what I mean? So when they get out of that form because they did something unbelievable, again, that's something we'll go to the end. It makes it hard to make it believable, and I feel like this is the same thing that happened with Rhea Ripley that you were talking about in the past. When
I never said that. That was Nick.
That was Nick.
Oh, was that Nick? The one?
That was
okay,
Caps, yeah.
For me, I love those moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't remember. That's the realism.
It was WrestleMania last year.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
So she wins King of the Ring, and then she gets happy. She doesn't play a heel. She gets all excited and has like a girly moment of like, I won the title.
I just don't understand why they keep pushing Nia Jax.
I don't see the logic here, except for the fact that they don't have any heels that are worth pushing. and at least she's a monster. But in my opinion, the way that this match went, okay, there's a difference. When you do something like with Roman Reigns, or when you do something with like Chris Jericho or whoever, Tanahashi, and they win the match over the up and coming wrestler, it's usually in a match that's well put together that helps put that person over. This match was a squash match with no technical skill level at all.
You just killed any momentum Valkyria had.
And it's weird because she was a heel. So you had a heel beat a heel in a heel way, and it was a squash match. And it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel now.
Yeah. Well, Lyra did come off as a babyface in this match, though.
But for this match, but leading into this,
she was
playing a heel.
Was she though? Because the people she faced were pretty heelish. Io Sky, Shayna Baszler.
Okay, well, she was a tweener. We'll call her a tweener.
Yeah.
Okay, because coming out the end of her run as NXT Women's Champion, she was a heel all the way until she got to face Roxanne Perez, where they turned Roxanne heel, and then
Lyra
had to turn Lyra face.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, this match was not good. It was very bad.
And Nia Jax wins, and most likely she'll get the match against Liv Morgan and probably eat her alive.
Yeah. All I know is this is actually, my ass was the worst match of the whole night, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, well, not even close.
Yeah. Okay, let's go from a bad match to a better match. We're going to talk about the men's tournament final. It is Gunther against Randy Orton for the men's King of the Ring tournament.
No, I really
this match was awesome. Yeah, this was a badass match.
I will die on this hill, and
I know you're not a Randy Orton fan, but you got to give him his props in this match.
No, Randy Orton is not a bad wrestler. I'm just not a fan. I don't see the hype. He's not a GOAT tier wrestler to me, but they treat him like he is because he came from an era where wrestlers were few and far between.
But we got to give him his due on. He's at the point now where he knows that he has to put people over.
And I think he worked really good the last couple matches he had. But I will still die on this hill. I'm sorry to all you really weirdo kids that love 2000s shit rock music, but his intro song, his theme song is the worst song I've heard in like forever.
Yes.
Like I can't get over it. Every time I hear it, it's like, you talk to me. Like,
so here's a fun fact for you.
Song. Like,
here's a fun fact for you. It's done by a band called Rev Theory. Rev Theory had a song called Hell Yeah, which was, I think, the theme song for this really shitty Spike TV comedy series called Blue Mountain State.
Oh, Blue Mountain State. Yeah, I know Blue Mountain State. Is that how they got the deal to do that song?
Yeah.
Because they were on Spike. WWE was on Spike.
And that's exactly how the deal came about.
That's crazy. That's a fun fact a lot of people don't know. In that little period of time when they bought WCW and they were doing really well financially, when they switched to Ruthless Aggression and they got moved to Spike, they started struggling big time with viewership, and they were losing money left and right through advertisements. Like WWE was close, like something bad could have happened had they not got out of that deal.
Yeah, the Spike TV deal did not last very long.
Because it was supposed to be a deal with TNN, the Nashville network, but they changed Spike. Funny. Fun facts that you learn.
Fun facts. There you go. See, we're educational here too, guys. We're educational.
But this match was really good.
Yeah, it was. And Gunther
is my favorite.
Gunther goes over, and that's the way it should be.
Gunther in general is just a good wrestler, but a good character too. Like everything about him down the line in my eyes is really good.
And they also addressed the botch pin.
They did.
Because Randy Orton's shoulders were off the mat, and when they asked Triple H the question, he said, it's the referee's decision, and the referee's decision is final. So in a way, you're still making Randy Orton look good. If Gunther wins the championship, there's your first feud right there.
People were overreading that. Like, if you saw the internet blow up after, like, in WWE universe,
nothing
is not scripted.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the other thing too. I remember they brought it up because I remember someone talk. I don't remember which it was. Just the one we're talking about. I was watching Kevin Owens or anything about the Raw thing or SmackDown. Sorry, SmackDown. The whole situation with Randy Orton. He even says it. He says Randy Orton technically did not lose that match. Kevin Owens said it himself. He's like, you know, he even still looked good in that situation because of the botches.
But that's what I mean. That was that everything in that match. You made Gunther look like an absolute superstar by beating Randy Orton, but you kept Randy Orton strong by not having him technically lose. So it's like I said, it's going to lead into something. And I can only spell good things because there's your who better than your first feud against Randy Orton to solidify your career if
Mhm.
you win the belt and your first title defense is
Well,
Randy
I mean,
Orton.
at
Yeah.
the same time, another great thing too is with Gunther. You know how Randy Orton always went off as that legend. Well, the guy called him the Legend Killer. Who better to take that crown kind of situation in my eyes than be Gunther? Gunther
Yeah,
has that Legend Killer feel to him,
vibe to him.
like he's
Yeah,
the real one. Yeah. So it feels like he would be
the
perfect to
Legend
take
Killer
on that
has been
role.
slayed, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
So who do you like? Speculation here. I know we don't like to do that very much, but fantasy booking. Who would you rather have Gunther face, Damian or Cody?
Damien. Oh no, shoot. Cody would be more entertaining, I think. I think Damien would better as
I
far as
think
story
it
versus.
I think it should be Cody, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they should do Gunter wins the next Royal Rumble. A
Okay.
lot of people are saying Gunter wins Money in the Bank, but I think you don't do that. I think
No.
you have Drew McIntyre win Money in the Bank and he beats Damian Priest. You let Damian Priest win at Clash.
Yeah.
And then you have Drew win Money in the Bank, and then Drew faces him at like SummerSlam or Survivor Series
Yeah.
and wins the belt, carries it into Mania so he can face Punk at Mania. And then you do the opposite. You let Gunter win the Rumble because Gunter made it to the end 2 years in a
Mm-hmm.
row. It's time for
Mhm.
him to win. He just won
Well,
King of the
no.
Ring.
Well, he made it to the end, but Punk was the second. Was
Yeah,
the
but
last.
he was all the way till the final four,
I
right?
think the final two in next year's Rumble, it's Gunther and CM Punk again.
That's fair.
This
And then
way,
you have
it,
Gunter win, and then CM Punk's gonna face Drew McIntyre anyway, so who cares?
exactly. So who cares? But like we said, this was the right outcome for once tonight. The outcome was correct. Well, okay, the Sami Zayn, I really
Sami
either
Zayn was
way,
right.
no, but either way, I
Yeah.
really didn't care. Even if they swapped the
Becky
titles,
Lynch match was right too because they had nowhere else to go.
yeah. So with that, we're going to go into our main event. It is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Logan Paul, who he was a little sneaky, who in the contract said it's not for the U.S. Championship.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, which is I like that sneakiness. You know, again, Logan Paul plays one good of a great heel, and at the same time, he's a good wrestler. Like I'm still
I
suddenly
hate the
so shocked.
person, but I can't hate the
He's
rest. You know what I
such a
mean?
good wrestler,
Like
man. Oh my
like I'm
god,
going to
he's
say this right
so
now.
good.
I hate saying this, but Logan Paul, at least I will say one thing for him.
He
When
respects
he
the
says
business for sure.
one, he respects the business, and two, he respects anything he goes to. Remember, he used to be in boxing, but it's like I see, you want to hate him, but so like as a fan that doesn't know the true wrestling thing outcome, they're like, I hate Logan Paul. Yeah, he in the real life he was a real bit of an asshole, but then he really has shown one, he knows how to wrestle. Two, he knows how to do the heel thing and work off those people that are already mad at him. And three, he has respect for it because every single time he gets in that match, he's willing to take bumps. He's willing to make him look bad. But at the same time, when he gets his opportunity, it's freaking awesome. And you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's badass. It's like it's so weird for me to cheer for this guy when he's a bad guy, but I'm cheering for him because he's so good. Does that make sense? Like I just
Yeah,
can't
no,
explain how I
absolutely.
feel.
That makes absolutely like because he puts the time and he puts the effort in and he's already had that work as a heel because he's a heel on his YouTube channel. He's a heel
Yeah.
like in real life, right?
But
Like
and then we'll just go on to the side thing. I've actually watched some of his interviews where he's like the Randy Orton interview and all these things he does in the show. And even then, I'm like, dude, you put off this asshole behavior, but then at the same time, I like the way you are because you know you're in the business and you respect it even on your shows that way. So when you're
yeah.
talking to these wrestlers like Rhea Ripley and everything, you're actually talking about the business itself in a very grandeur like way. So then when I see you in the ring, I love hating you, but at the same time, like, damn, you're so good at being hateful. It's like I don't know how to explain. It's like
It's a
I
hard
don't know how to
bout,
explain.
yeah.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah.
punchable face.
Yeah. But this was another good match. They ended the show off strong
Yeah.
with this. And Cody Rhodes retains as we expected would happen.
Yeah. But there's no shock there, to
It
be
was a
honest with
really
you.
good match. It was actually
Yeah.
really good. There's a few small things
I'm
that
tired of the whole
yeah,
jumping off the turnbuckle to the announce table. I'm
and
tired of that.
I'm tired. Also tired of random YouTubers showing up in the crowd. It's literally happened in like every match. So like
This will
we need
lead
just...
to Logan Paul versus Mr. Beast at WrestleMania 42.
I'll watch it.
But I'm gonna say this though. I know you hate it, but that's the thing. I'm gonna praise it for that. The whole Prime thing. They're using the Prime bottle of drink, bringing his friends in. What makes that great is I hate it too, but I think that's what's making me like him as a heel. Because the thing is, it's making me hate him more. Let me explain what I mean by that. He's a great wrestler, so I want to love him. But then those things you talked about right there, Campo, are what me hate him, and I go, that makes him a good heel.
But
it's
that
like they're
doesn't
trying
make him a good heel to me. The reason I hate him is because he's a heel. I hate him as a person. I don't hate him as a heel. I think he's a great heel. I like the heel.
He's just a piece of shit human
I
being.
don't like that you're bringing your buddies to give them like 15 minutes of
KSI and all
fame
those,
by having them show up outside the ring, and WWE's manipulating the young fans by putting these people they know there. That's what I don't like about it. It's constant. It's not like a one-off. It keeps happening.
It's every
It
match.
has nothing to do with the character. I'm not combining the
I get
two
it.
things.
Well,
I
the reason-
dislike this. Has nothing to do with how I
Yeah,
feel
because
about
they brought in
Logan.
what's his name, Speedy Gonzalez in the Randy Orton match there
they
too.
did it, and it's just enough. Like
Well,
enough.
well, I'm one of those people that's like, I get it. I know why they're doing it. WWE's like, dude, we need to get a younger crowd into our wrestling because there's a lot of this younger crowd that just aren't appealing to it and everything. We're losing that energy. Logan brings that, unfortunately. I hate to
Next,
bring
they're going to bring in Skibbity Toilet.
I hope they
well,
do.
I mean, but my point is like that. I think that's one thing. The reason why they have Logan Paul there too is not just because he's a good wrestler, but because he does bring that impact of like the YouTubers, the social media aspect, where he can bring these people that have never watched it before, but he can be eclipsed and like, look at the belts I got, and they're like, oh, I want to go find out how Logan Paul, this douchebag, got the belt. Then they come in and they go, oh my God, he's good at this. And I get why they do that. They use those people to say, hey, I was just on WWE I helped Logan Paul.
You know who they need to bring in? That little kid that sings, I play Pokemon Go.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just waiting for the point when the whole world starts talking like the mutants in the Dark Knight Returns. It's like Batman don't shiv.
Batman don't shit.
Anyways, yeah.
Scores. Cody retains.
I'll give a score first.
Sure.
Under the guys that I go last in AEW.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
I'll give it a 7 because I do think overall it was entertaining. I do think the 3 men's matches were all good, like actually good, not a little bit good, like actually really good matches. I do think there was some redeeming moments in the Becky Lynch match, though it wasn't a good match.
Yeah.
The other match was very bad. Like so bad that it dropped my score down to a 7.
Yeah, same here. I would have given it a higher score if it wasn't for the Nia Jax match.
You see, well, no, 2 matches. The Nia Jax, honestly, and this sounds so
the Becky
horrible.
Lynch match wasn't good, but it had like some redeeming
qualities.
But see,
I don't judge based on the pre-show either.
The pre-show, I'm not counting.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's the thing. My thing is like with all, and it sounds horrible saying this. All the female matches were not that good.
That's WWE booking. They
but
booked their female
except for the
division
pre-show.
so poorly.
The pre-show was the only one. The pre-show women's match was the only one that was appealing to me. And
so
that's
if you want to count that, go ahead.
Well, no, my point is I was doing the same thing you were doing, Kev. I'm also going to say I was going to do 7 for this as well because I'm a little bit conflicted by this because now that we're going to be going into another series, another pay-per-view that we talked about that I haven't been
Tune
a
in
part
tomorrow,
of
Double or Nothing.
Yeah. This also kind of made me go, I don't know how to feel on both ends. I'll leave that for that video because I feel like since you're posting this one first, right? So we'll save that for the next video. So make sure you guys watch the Double Nothing review to understand why I'm saying this here. But I'm giving it a 7 because there was like maybe in my eyes 2 or 3 matches altogether were good. It's the Sami Zayn, the one with Gunther, and then the last one with Logan Paul. Everything else was crap, but then there's not really that many, and so. It did go by quickly, but on a pace that was very odd because when I watch it on Peacock, I don't get those ads where they're showing the stuff. You know what I mean?
So a 3-hour pay-per-view is like an hour and a half.
Well, no, well for me, since they don't do that, it's still about 2 hours for me. It's about 2 hours when I watch it.
Yeah, but we don't get the ads either. But we have just to sit there while everyone talks.
Yeah.
No, but you don't get the ads.
I fast forward through everything that's not match related.
But I found out watching it a lot lately when I watch it later instead of the day it actually
Yeah,
records.
they erased all the middle stuff.
Yeah.
Not yeah, everything. I mean, I'm even talking about when they talk about like it's what led up to this match. All that's gone. It goes straight into the match when they're like this
Yeah.
match next, but ads, and then it goes straight into it. So I like that because it keeps the pace going for me.
They eliminate those 20-minute vignettes
So, but
between
then
matches.
that's and then I have to factor that into mine because I
Mhm.
watched it and I didn't get to skip that, and the pay-per-view was really, really long, and the matches were not as long as the pay-per-view required. Like,
Yeah.
And that, it makes sense to me. But then, like I said, when we go into the other review, there's a big difference in all that. So it's really weird how the constraints for me are very different.
Yeah.
And life, I will say this: WWE have making them shorter for me helps for someone like myself. You know what I mean? Of time constraints. I like doing that. I like the story driven stuff. But then we get to wrestling, that's where it always hits. It's either really good or really bad at times in my eyes. You know what I mean? I don't feel like there's a really that too much of a middle ground when it comes to WWE. They don't know how to balance well enough. You know what I mean?
well, this was your middle ground. The
This was your
7-3
middle
is,
ground
like, the
because
middle
I'm
ground.
I'm right there with you guys. I gave it a little higher. I gave it a 7.2.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I'm right there in that bubble with you guys. A 7.2 for me only because I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Gunther, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Chad Gable. So there's something positive that can come out of this. So that's why
Which is what most people that I know would say is what the point of WWE. They're not here to put on good matches. They're here to get you excited for what's coming next.
yeah.
And it's always just what's next, what's next, what's next.
Yeah, but if next is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable in a one-on-one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Make sure you go and follow these guys here, over there. I don't know where they are. All their stuff will be in the description box down below if I remember to put it, because I always forget. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. In the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.